Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. The Bitcoin price around the 105,000 American dollars. Check out that weekly chart. Here we go. We are still grinding around these highs. We did conclude the month of March with the highest monthly close in Bitcoin history. But the consumer sentiment for all of us has been poor because of altcoins. Pretty much that's what we're waiting for forever and ever and ever. Nothing has been giving. When is it going to change? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to keep being patient. I've seen as well, Uncle Bobby thinks that, maybe we get a bit of a reset and up. It might not take that long. Maybe like we're almost done. All right. Or maybe around the 100,000. Maybe. We just look, we're always weary of these little resets and stuff out here. I'm going to quickly show you that Bitcoin dominance as well. The Bitcoin dominance is still refusing to come down, but I think it's in the process of it doing it actually right now because we've drawn a fib. We've come back to the 61.8 and now we're grinding around here. I'm expecting this to reject. The thing is though, it's pretty much all dependent on Ethereum, which is interesting because Ethereum was been the thing that's been letting us all down before. This is the Ethereum weekly chart. This is extremely strong. Very strong, friends. Remember, I've shown you like these wicks. When any crypto does this, I mean, it's gonna blow. All right, any crypto that does that on a daily, especially the weekly, man. This is a weekly chart. My gosh, when it does these things, it's literally ready to go. Pretty much, it does a reversal back to where it should have been. It should have never gone below 2,500. This was a scam zone. Pretty much scam. Some people say manipulation. Some people say like a liquidity trap. Or the market maker. The market maker. It doesn't matter who it is, dude. It's just those. We saw a bunch of ICO jeets from Ethereum who were jeeting down there anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Now, when we're looking at Ethereum, the next CME gap level is 3,200. So hopefully that's where we actually come back and pop up next to as well, and we start to grind out here, and maybe everyone thinks it's over at that point. You never know. Maybe if you draw a line here, maybe it actually comes back, has like this little wick down. Everyone thinks it's over. They're buying below 3,000. And then, everyone thinks, oh, why would you buy Ethereum like above 3,000? We were spending so much time below here. And then that's actually the one that fakes everyone out and continues up higher. Not that Ethereum is super strong per se. It's just that it's been so terribly weak for so long. It's only a matter of time before things change for the better. The ETH BTC chart, I want to show that to you right now. The ETH BTC chart, it's still hanging around the lows. This is the monthly chart. I'm going to leave this chart up just so we know, friends. The 61.8, that is, I think, where our date with destiny is. Right? We go up, we come up, and we pop. Now, it's going to be scary up here. Depends what the US dollar price is. It might make it difficult for us, right? So, man, it's going to be tough, man. It'd be tough. So, just remember, what is this? That means Ethereum will be 5.5 or around 6% of whatever Bitcoin's price is. So, if Bitcoin is 200K, Ethereum would be around 10 to 12. Okay, and you're going to say, and then what? And then what? Well, I don't know, and then what? I don't know. I feel like because Ethereum went so far low down, it won't stop at the 61.8. It'll have a stab up here and then ultimately get rejected. I don't know why. I just feel like that. Just like this, get this final bull trap at the end of our bull market just to get people in. And actually, you might say something, there's no way people are going to come and FOMO buy Ethereum after all this, this painful terror. No, Red. You got to remember how everyone gets trapped in crypto, not just crypto, in all markets. It's you basically get distracted from the thing you're meant to be focusing on. So what happens is maybe when ETH pops up here with this high ratio, people won't be looking at Ethereum. They'll be looking at altcoins. Okay. And then I'll be like telling you, hey, if you're buying altcoins today, whatever this point in time is, and I pray we get there, obviously. But I'll be saying, hey, I know you're coming into, because most people don't care about Ethereum at that point. They might be buying an altcoin, maybe some meme coin. They're buying a meme coin. Maybe it's 50 million market cap, and they're trying to play that it's going to go to a billion, a 20x or something. Well, if they'll be buying it during this mania phase, maybe ETH BTC is up here, and I'll be saying to them, hey, I know you don't think like this, but Bitcoin's 200K, Ethereum is 10K. Your altcoin that you're buying, you are long Bitcoin at 200K. You are long Ethereum at 12K right now. Like you're buying Ethereum at 12K. And they'll say, that's why I won't even bother explaining to people. It's the highest value content in crypto for a reason. Doesn't mean everyone is ready to accept the highest value content in crypto, but that'll actually save you because you go, wait a minute, do I want to be long anything in crypto when Bitcoin is now 200K, when Ethereum is 12K, right? That's just, you know, it's a mindset just to think about. Now what I'm going to have to do is pump it up for us. Nice. PulseChain has been doing absolutely nothing, sirs. Nothing. This is 3, 4, 5%. Nothing to do here. 3, 4, 5%. Absolutely nothing to see. Ethereum isn't moving. Ethereum is still grinding up and doing its little chart pattern here. We still have pDAI moving nowhere as well. I've changed it to a market cap price about 100 million. Let's go check it out now. It's around here. Right up here. So you're seeing the same stuff. A lot of people just come out. People who... See, when markets... This is what you'll notice, right? When the dopamine gets cut off, like right now, people react differently in any coin. PulseChain, Hex, Ethereum, Bitcoin. People react differently depending on how you cut the dopamine off. It really tests you as a person, as a human, you know? The strongest mindset person has a clear pill approach. Like, it sucks, but it is what it is. I'm just going to get through it. It's hard, but I'm going to get through it, right? That's the strongest mindset person. But people react differently. Some people get really angry. They come out and they just lash out. They come to look to blame everybody. Oh, it could be like extreme stuff. Like, oh, I'm going to sue this broker that let me buy Bitcoin on their platform, right? Or they could be like, oh, I'm going to go after Vitalik, you know? Or I'm going to go after the founder, or Richard Hart, or Sergey from Chainlink, or Galvin Woodsy from Polkadots, right? That's what these people like, you know, just completely waste their time. Instead of like trying to move on, they're making it their mission to be like just negative on everyone. But then also some people, you know, people have different ways. Like some people write full essays just trying to like mid-curve, you know, basically psychologically unravel what they're feeling in like a roundabout way. So they'll come out on Twitter and they'll say, oh, the pDAI narrative, oh, the this and the that, oh, the pDAI narrative, we got trapped, and oh no, this was bad. They just write these essays just trying to FUD everybody out, FUD themselves out. I don't even think they understand what they're doing. You know, you're coping, right? We have a word for that, C-O-P-E, copy, cope. That's what it is. You're just coping. You're literally like, how do you cope with the dopamine that's been cut off? What do you do? That's why people, friends, love watching my channel, because you get to see what I do. Like we feel the pain. We feel the pain. We're like, man, green candles, you're so far away. You're so far away. But then you just see me lift everything up the next day, come back and do it all over again and deal with it. You know, I hope everyone's learning from this experience. I know not everybody will adopt that. You got to go through your own journey really to see like that. Depends what type of person you are, friends. You see a glass of orange juice, half full or half empty. You know, and I'm not saying it's always half full, you know, you never need to fix anything. I'm definitely against people who like just see roses and fairies with everything. But, you know, stick back to the fundamentals. You know the game. Long-term waiting, long-term holding. I've told you, we've discovered the fundamental drivers of crypto. Global liquidity, the business cycle. Tick, tick, tick. You literally learned everything. You've learned everything. Now we watch them. So you know what your expectations are, right? That's a better mindset to have rather than people going like, oh, we're going to do a squiggly line up and then a squiggly line down, you know, because just squiggly lines. Okay? These people don't understand it. Like we've hit this crossroads, right? Where, you know, everyone's saying that the cycle's going to be over in literally July. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, look, man, it can be over, man. And it doesn't have to follow my chart. But like, I think the crypto industry is personally, I think it's worth 10 trillion. I actually think it's worth 10 trillion. The amount of people, the governments, all the companies coming in. I don't think crypto's worth 3 trillion, man. And crypto, we price in the future. If we're going to grow to like you know, in the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to go to a $2 trillion stablecoin asset in crypto. Yeah, I don't think the whole thing's worth 3. I don't think like if Bitcoin just goes up, friends, another 30% from here. Oh, what golly gee, now you're only worth 4 trillion. So like, oh, like that makes no sense to me, bro. So you're telling me that crypto's only gonna grow around here, and then you're gonna sell. Yet the U.S. government literally said, this is 4.38 trillion. The U.S. government said by 2028, 2029, stable coins are gonna be literally 2 trillion in size. So you're like, oh, say the whole crypto industry is pretty much dog shit. You've got Bitcoin and then a lot of dog poop and then the stable coins. I don't think so, man. I don't think the market is going to price stuff like that. I think you'll be doing yourself a big disservice to actually believe the Bitcoin maxi bullshit trope. that digital pet rock is going to take everything into the future. Because we know already it won't. Okay, like point number one, stablecoins, right? Literally stablecoins, faster growing than Bitcoin, all coming in here. Just there you go. Think about all the things with stablecoins. What that means. That means, friends, debit card spending, right? Purchasing of real world items, other items, having US dollar bank accounts everywhere, earning yield, and then you put the government bonds there. You see this goes bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, where's Bitcoin in that? It's literally, so like they'll make altcoin services around that as well. So just showing you like already something we could already see forming. Check out with this cracker news. Tether and Bitfinex moved 25,000 BTC, around 2.7 billion. They moved it to Jack Mallers, his 21 Capital, as part of a pre-funding for their Bitcoin Treasury bubble. So Bitcoin Treasury, as you know, friends, so Tether, so I think Jack, I know he's not watching. He's probably too popular and too rich, right, to basically just be watching other channels. But Jack, you're making a big mistake, dude. Okay, and I know you don't care, right? I'm wearing a Canadian hat. Shout out to my Canadian baby dolls. Love you, mate. Love you, moose. Love everybody in Canadian land, right? You're making a big mistake. You will have your feet held to the fire for your Tether association. Okay? You will. Not maybe, not when, you will. So you basically dug your own grave without knowing it. You got a Bitcoin Treasury bubble, which, yes, is a bubbly bubble. Okay? And we're watching it grow in real time. We want it to keep growing. Please keep growing. Don't pop yet. And Tether is obviously CBDC trash on the blockchain. Remember, what Tether's doing and Tether's functions were the reason Satoshi made Bitcoin. It's because there is a blacklist function on a US dollar on your bank account. There is a blacklist function. Yeah, that's why I made Bitcoin. Okay? They can't debase it. They can't pause it. They can't stop you from spending stuff. Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting how somehow... See, we're no better than anybody else in crypto. It's the same people. It's just the system's different. So now we have options, you know? In your fiat banking world, you don't have a menu of other coins to hold, do you? No, you don't. You got to hold the fiat coin. Yeah? Okay, in crypto, you don't have to hold the CBDC trash. Right? We're making stuff. Yeah? We may or may not be making stuff. Maybe. Right? Maybe PulseChain has a solution for this stuff. Maybe pDAI, maybe PulseChain, maybe PulseX. You don't have to hold all this rubbish. So that's how it's all going to play out, friends. And it'll be strong for marketing and boosts. And look, the best part is we're so undervalued across everything that you don't even need a win. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, friends, the best part about markets is it's kind of like, you know, let's say there's 20 football teams and you are betting that team rank 19, right? You don't need them to win the premiership. You don't need them to come first. You don't even need them to come top 4, right? Just you bet that one day they're going to be like top 8 and you make a lot of money. Isn't that amazing? You know? Whereas like people who are betting that, oh, team number 4 is going to win first. Like, yeah, that's okay. But you're betting on like someone good and the odds are like way out, right? But if you go check the bookies, whenever you try bet on anybody doing well and they're coming like, you know, the last 3 places in any rank ladder, they'll give you like, you know, $28 to 1, right? $30, 500 to 1 for them to basically come out on top. So you can buy something if they're giving you odds 500 to 1, and then maybe they start actually doing well at the end, and then their odds go to like 50 to 1. Yeah, you bet you made a 10x. Yeah, and it's still like horrific odds to basically take over the world and stuff. That's how you got. That's the best part about markets. We're liquid and we trade prices like that. You know. Whereas if you're betting on like rank number 4, they'll probably only pay you $3 to 1, and then if they start doing well, confirming you, it'll be like $2 to 1. You know, that's terrible odds appreciation, okay? And you can use that same principle with markets and crypto and everything out here. Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin has been approved as a recognized crypto token by Habibi Dubai Financial Services Authority for use within the Dubai International Center. So with that, friends, we're going to play some Habibi album music. Okay, now, remember, StableCoin SuperCycle. This appears every single day. It keeps appearing. I will keep covering it. I've given you the menu of stuff you want to buy. if you want to participate in it. You don't have to participate in any. You can think the stablecoin SuperCycle is not even happening. That's completely fine. I mean, I could not care less. I've told you the list, right? You can buy Athena, EtherFi. So the Athena is like ENA, EtherFi. You could buy Chainlink participates in it because of the oracles. You could buy Ethereum. You could buy Ripple, XRP. Right, so there are alternatives. You could buy, I guess, Cardano for the JED, but not really. But you could if you really like. We're pushing it here, Obviously, my favorite is pDAI because if stablecoin SuperCycle works, pDAI is a whopping, literally intergalactic new level of target unlocks. If this thing goes to $1 from today, where would it be? It would be 420x to $1. Everything else I mentioned to you before. I mean, for example, let's look at XRP. Your RLUSD, congratulations. Okay, blockchain backer, an enormous XRP maxi. He is selling 65% of all his XRP at $8 pretty much. Okay, which is about if we check it out where it is how, XRP right now is $2.25. So it's about, 3 to 4x. He's selling everything. 3 to 4x from today. Okay, so I'll show you that. We're gonna go check it out right here. This is the XRP. Everyone's expecting that same wave up here. So what you can actually do, friends, you can just put it on a log chart, right? You can just see where would a $8 to $9 XRP take us. There you go. He's selling it around 250% gain from here. Okay, so there you go. See, but you have way less risk there, don't you? Ripple, not going anywhere. Got a legal team. Got David Schwartz, who looks like the Predator. You have, Ripple. They are, like I said, every exchange has them. They're like rubbing shoulders with, other people in Washington. And you're not gate-kept anywhere. So you have less risk. You have way less risk. Therefore, your upside is less. That's it. Your potential upside is way less. You have less risk. That's it. Yeah. If you want higher reward, guess what? You got to take on more risk. Yeah. There's a risk that this thing goes to zero for the third time. That pDAI goes to zero for the third time and stays there. There's a risk for that. Now you could always say XRP has a risk for that, but do you actually feel that? Do you think XRP is really going to go to zero for the third time? No, because XRP hasn't gone to zero in the past 2 years twice, like this thing has. Just said higher risk, higher reward. It works out. Doesn't mean the thing has to work out. It just means, yes, if this thing goes and plays out, when people, I don't know, but people are going to look back and go, oh, you mean all you had to do was do your own research and then basically you get the biggest home run? Yeah. And guess what? Feel free to take profit between 5 and 10 cents. I mean, at 10 cents, you're 42x away. That's a cracker, right? You don't even have to believe in $1. With XRP, you got to believe in $8 at this point. What are you going to do? Sell on a 2x? Because XRP is not going to be moving by itself. So I've given you everything out here, friends. So remember, Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. You're seeing all of these things pretty much push forward. Stablecoin SuperCycle keeps confirming. I'm sure it's just going to appear out there in mainstream crypto out there, and they're not going to know what to buy. It's boring everyone. They go, stablecoins? What do you mean? Oh, I don't want to buy Tether and USDC. Yeah, they don't let you into their ICO, right? That's why what pDAI offers is a potential first cycle unicorn. Consensys acquired Web3 Auth wallet infrastructure aiming to improve MetaMask's user experience. So remember, Consensys, friends, owns MetaMask. MetaMask, yes, is an abomination. It is beyond terrible. Okay, shame on everyone at MetaMask. You made $120 million price gouging your customers with your shitty extortion high-level fees, $120 million, okay? And this is the piece of shit that you still have running. The software's trash. There's a new bug every 5 seconds. Half my Telegram messages is people figuring out how to get rid of a bug. I gave up. I literally just installed Rabby. And guess what? There are some old websites, they just support MetaMask, and so Rabby pretends to be a MetaMask to connect to the website, which is amazing. Unfortunately, Rabby have become ruggy. They rugged PulseChain community, but it is what it is. So I also have internet money. So I have all three, friends. You can have all three. just be careful. Don't go moving around all these wallets and stuff out here to like multiple PCs. Just be careful, right? You don't want to increase the odds that you're putting your seed phrase into the wrong location. But hopefully MetaMask get a better, user experience, which we definitely need. MetaMask as well, friends, they also now support Soylana. So on MetaMask, you can now generate your own Soylana address. So it now connects there. Could be, I don't know, it'd be funny. It's kind of a topping signal. Is it a topping signal for Soylana? It's kind of like, oh, you're a bit late, guys. But yeah, I think they're going to also support Bitcoin. So you're going to have a Bitcoin address and Soylana. So they're probably going to allow bridges through, but it's going to be so monitored, so you won't have like North Korea Lazarus moving, moving money, I guess, through their bridge. And let me guess, I bet that bridge that lets you move between your Soylana account and Bitcoin, MetaMask's going to charge you like 18% just to move, something stupid, because they're always like extremely high price gouging. But yes, this is the future of crypto. That's what everyone wants. Everyone wants one wallet in one place. That's why you might have the fart wallet, Richard Hart's wallet. Maybe that comes out. Maybe he does an ICO raise for it, ICO sacrifice phase. We'll see. Nasdaq listed Class Silver Holdings secures $500 million for funding of soy treasury strategy. Plans to accumulate 80% of proceeds to purchase soy. So Soylana friends have a Bitcoin treasury bubble thing trying to start as well. We all watched Ivan pretty much like laugh at the fact that Ethereum didn't have one and Soylana had one instead. But my friend Ivan would then conclude, because it's Soylana's better. Is it better, bro? Or did its price just go up for 700 days? Think about that. Is it really better, or is its price just higher for longer? I think its price is just higher for longer. Okay, so this is SOL-ETH, friends. The SOL-ETH ratio, remember, this is SOL-ETH, which means as it goes up, Soylana strong. As it goes down, Soylana weak. And it's against Ethereum. So right now, it is almost flipping red on the weekly super trend. Okay, it is very close. 1% away. What happens after this point? It's pretty much like, because it's a weekly chart, it's hard to fake these out constantly. I mean, this flipped red, and then look what happened. This big green candle was Donald Trump launching his meme coin and everybody bridging into Solana. And basically, it rejected, comes back up again, and rejects again. So it's pretty much, this, I'll be honest, friends, this, you can do what you want, man. I would just personally, I don't want to fight anything. I would just be, I'm not going to say, I'll be shit scared. I'm scared. That's it. I'm just scared. Okay. I'm scared because you ran up for an extremely long period of time, bro. You ran up for, look at this, 400, look at this. You ran up for literally 588 days against Ethereum. You had a top out, the president launches a coin, and then Ethereum capitulates, right? And pretty much goes to zero here. All right, there's Ethereum capitulating. That's why this thing went up here. And guess what? You're still now rejecting. So like you literally have the trifecta of three amazing things to try form a new breakout, and it couldn't break out. Okay, so that's how you read. And then, by the way, because it's giving you, I'll just be honest, friends. I'm not gonna shut my mouth. Okay, this is price action stuff. It's given you 3 chances to get out since November last year. You've literally had 8 months to get out. Okay, so I'm not saying that means it goes down. I'm just saying if it does go down, it doesn't have to come back for a very long time. It gave you 8 months to get out, dude. It literally gave you 8 months to get out. It's given you literally forever and ever in time to get out. So, I guess you could deal with that later by yourself. Bitcoin treasury firm MetaPlanet becomes Japan's #1 stock by trading volume, and since the first time ever. So this is amazing, friends. Remember, MetaPlanet is the most expensive Bitcoin in the world. So if you check out MetaPlanet stock, this is it. This is actually the full chart. So it's up at 1,300. So friends, MetaPlanet up here is trading at a 500% premium, right, for its Bitcoin. So pretty much a 5x. So Bitcoin here is worth 500K, okay? So if you're buying MetaPlanet, you're buying, I think effectively, you're buying a $500,000 Bitcoin. But effectively on its balance sheet. But not really, because it has another part of the business. But like, just be careful of people who just say, no, it's this time is different. This time is different. Of course, just be careful of that. So it's nice. I had this super turbo nuclear one, man. Imagine the people who bought this at the beginning of last year, bro. It just went up 70x. My gosh. Yes, MetaPlanet. It's good that, you know, this. So MetaPlanet will be shown to other companies. They're like, oh, look what happens when you put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. The price just pumps. And then that's what that causes the bubble. Donald Trump is set to speak with China's President Xi on Friday. So President Winnie the Pooh, I guess Matt is going to be letting us know what happens there. It's going to be probably one of the skits events. You know, the deal went good or the deal went bad. Up or down, up or down. That's just all it's going to be leading into a Friday, whatever, we'll see. A lot of your friends have been thinking about, oh, we should have sold in May and go away again for the 8th time in a row. Yeah, it feels like that now. But I do think that we're going to swoop up by the end of this. By the end of June and July, we'll be swooping up. So selling May, go away is probably not going to work. But right now, I know it feels like, oh, it worked at the start, right? But that's actually what you'll notice is all the fractals and everything of the past, their beginning continues. And then like a third of the way, they reverse. That's exactly what's happened in our crypto cycle, right? It's like, oh, now we should start going up. And we start going up a bit, and then we reverse down and we deviate from where the old correlation is. So it's the same thing like selling may go away. The people who sold in may go away. They've gotten out. Now they have like a month to think about it. Hopefully they have to FOMO buy stuff later. Donald Trump Jr. has clarified that the Trump organization has no ties to the new Trump wallet and announced an official Trump wallet soon via World Liberty Financial. So someone out here launched a Trump wallet and they declared it official. And I guess it got popular, so popular fast that they had to come out and say, this is not ours. This is not, we have no ties to this, the Trump wallet. So, you know, they're probably just trying to get that first network effect, right? Because Donald Trump, because that's all they care about, friends. Like if Donald Trump has like 4 million crypto people who are interested in him, and this thing can just grab 5%, that's 200,000 people. You know what I mean? That's big. 200,000 people, and they can earn fees off their swapping for a bull market. People just trying to, you know, make their own hustle. That's network effects and altcoins. I mean, like remember, Bitcoin goes up so much. What do? We make Litecoin, you know, and altcoins follow. So this is just a natural part of life, how things happen. I want you to think about something, friends. What I'm going to do is actually crank it a bit.
Put your money on the backseat. You know they always trying to get me. I can make it rain on you.
All right, think about this. Think about what would happen to Soylana chain if PumpFun released their own chain and their own token. What would happen? You know, now we don't exactly know what would happen, but you think about, okay, what's left? You would, you know, you'd have to go to like the maxis to be like, no, we have real world assets, or we have this, we have that. No, you don't, dude. No, you don't. You say everyone has that stuff. Everyone has that. Oh, they're building cool stuff. Yeah, that 2 people want to use. Oh, we have a thing where you have maps on the blockchain. Bro, we got Google Maps. No one cares about that stuff. No one's in crypto to come look at maps. There's actually, I'm not joking. There's someone building like maps. I'm not joking. They're trying to put maps in crypto, and I know what they're trying to merge. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of the amazing new technologies that they're marveling out here, dude. It's a casino, all right? What happens when your casino wants to leave town? What happens when the casinos want to leave Nevada, Las Vegas? What happens? Makes you think. Yeah, someone make a new casino, maybe. But what about when the other casinos are incentivizing token creation and stuff there? Okay. So if you fast forward this, maybe that's Soylana's 3rd cycle curse. Now, Soylana's in 2nd cycle right now. Gave everybody a chance to exit. In the next cycle, that's what we might find, where liquidity routes are faster in 4 or 5 years from now, and there's a PumpFun everywhere. There's a JPEG casino everywhere. And it's hard to differentiate yourself, right? We might find that. That's just something to think about. Now, why I've said this is PumpFun they've announced a $1 billion token sale at a $4 billion valuation as it prepares to launch its own token within the next 2 weeks. So I can't believe, okay, this is big. Now, you might be saying, Shami, is this a top signal? Everything could always be a top signal. This isn't public though. A 1 billion token sale, it's private VC, ICOs. Basically, they're dumping on everyone. You know how greedy they are as well, friends? They are they already gained $550 million in soy in fees, and they've been dumping. So the founder Elon, man, he's going to become a billionaire in Norway. Like he's literally, they've been dumping. Yeah, they've dumped. I don't know how much, maybe 300 or 400 million out of the 550. Yeah, but they're just planning a dump. They just periodically they just dump 30 million on the exchange, 30 million clips, 50 million. They just keep unloading. So it does make you think, right? They're doing this big ICO thing, and what for? They're probably going to change, how the tokenomics and stuff. They have no tokenomics. There is no PumpFun token. The opportunity's gone. When I first heard about PumpFun, it was from Elio Trades last year. Or maybe, yeah, very, very, very early PumpFun. Very early. Maybe like January of 2024. But there was no token. Okay? There was no token at all. So all I could just see was like 15 JPEGs coming out every like 10 seconds. And I'm like, well, what do you do with this, right? So that's what. And then look out, people found the way to make a grifting business out of it, the LA Vape Cabal. Where they know it's kind of just how these snake oil work, man. So they know, okay, everyone has a problem. They don't know which coin to trade on PumpFun because it's 15,000 JPEGs a second. So what they do is they made a business out of finding you, the audience, the coin. This is the coin of the day. This is the one to look at. And then they're dumping on you. And people just getting grifted. They go, oh, yeah, this is cool now. This is on TikTok. This is cool. And they just run that every 1 or 2 weeks. So that's what they've been doing. But you know what? I've seen the Soylana users. A lot of you just straight cucks. A lot of you literally straight cucks, never going to make it. You all have the same story. You're stealing $5,000 credit cards off your parents. You're gambling. You're stealing college. You idolize dudes with face tattoos. You probably never even had the leg day to skip it. That's the first thing. Probably the most bent posture you've ever seen because they're just on their phone all day. Yeah, so just have and pencil neck, noodle arm, everything you can imagine, right? So they're just destined to like not make it. They're destined to be food. Like you're like the TMZ, the Hollywood paparazzi. You're the consumer of their content. Like you're just a total loser. You're never ever gonna break out. Like you're so close to red pill stuff. Like they took the red pill, came into crypto, then they just vomited it out, and then now I don't know what they're taking. They're taking like literally just, yeah, I can't even say blue pill. They're taking some sort of pill. It's got like that, that hazard skull radiation plutonium poison on it that they're enjoying. Publicly traded company, the Blockchain Group, buys 620 BTC worth 60 million. This is from France. Shout out to my baby dolls in France. I love your baguettes. I love your cheese. Also, you got a nice soccer team as well. I like watching the replays of them. So kudos to you over there. You also had some good Counter-Strike teams as well. I forgot their name. But yes, this is back in the day, friends. WCG. Only OGs remember those days. So we're seeing more companies come to want to put, Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They're all going to keep buying. But like I said, just because they're companies doesn't mean that they're human still, all right? So we look at crypto. A lot of people are frauds in crypto in terms of they're not as strong as they claim to be. So I'm going to guess it's the same thing with these companies. Not guess. It actually is true. I'm going to assume that because the company just made it of people and people are shareholders and they have human emotions too, right? So I do believe that we'll just see like maybe 30% of them G'd out hard, right? When we finally get to the end, okay? Brazil's President Lula says he's ready to negotiate a new trade deal with the US of A. So this tariff stuff is continuing. And you see now the market doesn't really react to this stuff because now you have fatigue. It's priced in. Everyone's got an idea of the rates and, the tariff rates and everything out here. So Elon Musk, friends, I'm not sure if you heard of him, this guy. Okay, so Elon Musk is this man, the owner of Twitter, also father of 14 children, doesn't know half their names, probably has a 15th one on the way. So Elon Musk slams Congress's new bill. So they did a new bill. He goes, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. The massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Elon Musk says, Congress is making America bankrupt. And then House Speaker Mike Johnson says Elon Musk is terribly wrong about the spending bill. No, he's not. He's right. Of course we know that. But is he wrong? Is he right? The fiat system is built this way. It's built this way. It's built for this participation in the economy by the government, which is spending more, increasing the money supply, right? Obviously, they overdo it. That's why we're in crypto. In case if you're new, the whole reason why crypto is made is because they keep spending more. The debt keeps going up. We know this, and the money supply keeps going up. And then we didn't have enough babies to replace the boomers. Now we have to try immigrate. You already know what's happening, and you know who's behind all the immigration, friends. So immigration, there's been a lot of races whitewashing away. That's been happening out here, diluting power away. Makes you think about who's doing it. Right? So that's 100% been happening. And it's pretty much, there's a lot of deception, a lot of just manipulation of the population. If you go check out who's putting all the ideas in these people's heads, it's a very, very few. It's like these journalists and media people. That's where it all comes from. Like these people are all bots. You know they're bots. I know they're bots. You don't think for yourself. So you only got that information from one place. Because every single independent person I actually know who literally doesn't watch the TV, we don't even have an opinion and stuff. We literally don't watch that. We didn't come to the conclusion that, let's just go immigrate a lot of people from the third world who will come and basically just butcher and slash and basically free ride off the system and just dilute the culture. Like, I never thought of that. Like, who thinks of that, right? So obviously somebody sinister, evil stuff, somebody who wants to take over. But, you know, you and I, it's outside of our control, right? The politicians are bribed. If you check out, it's kind of funny, friends. These politicians, they're not principled. They only cost they cost literally 20 to 60K to bribe most of them. I'm not even joking. They'll literally just 20 grand. They are literally your puppet. That's it. 20 grand. We can see the numbers, how much they accept. 20 to 60K. Yes, some big dogs cost $1 million, but it's chump change when you're trying to take over like a freaking continent. So we already know, right? We have clear pill. It is what it is. Okay, we've accepted it. But you know what? It is what it is, friends. We have crypto. We don't have to stay in the fiat system and just whinge all day. That's what people do in there. Which is okay. I know, you know, it's not, is it really whinging? Yeah, bro. Come on. You got crypto now. You know, it's kind of like you're standing outside and you're like yelling at the rain and the cloud. Bro, here's an umbrella. Pick up an umbrella. It's literally right here. They go, no, I just want to yell at the crowd. I just want to yell at the cloud and just stand on the rain all day. Okay, bro. Are you here to whinge? No, we're not here to whinge. There's crypto in a nutshell, friends. Moving your fiat, bridging out of fiat, moving from your bank account into cryptocurrency land, okay? You start off with BTC, and you can venture out into Ethereum and everything else out there. You moving into that system, you're grabbing the umbrella, okay? And everyone else in the system going like, cost of living. What about that cost of living? Have you seen the price of eggs? Have you seen the price of rent? Have you seen the price of this? Cost of living. Yeah, bro, you're a blue pill cuck, dude. You're a blue pill cuck. We're trying to help you, but we don't actually, and also when you tell people that, because they're so self-centered a lot of the time, they say, but it can go down. Like, you're just trying to get my money. Bro, trust me, no one cares about your shitty little sub $1 million entry. Nobody cares at all. I promise you no one cares. Okay, you are literally a fart in the wind. Okay, it's going to pump with or without you. Okay, I'm just telling you, you're going to hear about it again in a few years. Hopefully a few months. Okay, that means the crypto cycle is getting heated up. So, baby dolls, after seeing all that, where to from here? What I want to do now is show you my uncle, Uncle Bobby Loukas. Uncle Bobby Loukas, Bitcoin should start a new cycle this week. And with Ethereum, it looks ready to continue the recent outperformance as a push to $3,200. So remember, I woke up like, but I've been talking about 3,200, Uncle Bobby. Is Uncle Bobby watching my videos? I know you are, Uncle Bobby. I know you are. I mean, you may as well watch your nephew instead of all these other cucks. Okay, so Uncle Bobby, hey friends, remember I showed you the weekly chart of this? He showed you the daily. See how Ethereum's doing this nice chop. So yeah, that next part hopefully goes to 3,200. And trust me, there's going to be a lot of people shorting there. And friends, remember I told you with Ethereum, we have the highest record number of shorts. Their average volume is around 3,000. So what if I told you, remember, it's just like James Win. Remember James Win? How he was hunted? Okay, well, how about we hunt all these other people, which they will get hunted. Yeah, if you smash it up through 3,000, guess what? All these people have to cover. So that's why you never know, man. You might have like a smash up, smash down, and it just continues up. Might do something like that. But yeah, then the real game begins after 3,800. Hopefully, it is a great experience because altcoins are still poop, but not for long. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you soon.